Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video that's always a little bit bittersweet to film because we are gonna film the worst of 2023, the worst beauty products, the worst makeup products that I tried this year. Some of this is personal preference, some of this is just that I think the products were not as they were described, and some of them I just think they're poorly made products of bad quality, and I'm of course gonna let you know why I don't like each of these products, because I think it's very important to explain why something is a bad product to you and not just say this is the worst thing ever. So we're gonna go through all of these products. I have them in front of me. There are quite a few of them. And let me see if you agree with me or not. Maybe you don't, and that's perfectly fine. If I mention something as a worst product that's one of your favorite products, that means nothing to you. Just keep using it. If you love it, you love it. That's amazing. This is just me sharing my opinion on some of these things. I will of course be having a best of beauty as well. Hopefully that will be tomorrow, or at least in the upcoming days. I'm having a little bit of a stressful time right now, so I'm doing the very best I can. I still do have a giveaway on my channel, so check the pinned comment about the giveaway. There's going to be some information about that. I'm doing 12 days of Christmas and I'm doing a giveaway every day until the 12th of December. So check the pinned comment to see info about that. I don't know if you're watching this as it's being uploaded or a little bit later. So is there anything else I want to say before we jump in? I don't know. I did film this look for a reel or a short, depending on what platform you're like. I will leave a link to that down below as well in case you're interested. I'm actually using my palette with Oden's Eye, the Little Ghost palette. So let's jump in. I'm actually put these products in front of me, from foundations going to concealers, the way that I would use them on my face. So let's start with something that I don't think anyone's gonna be surprised that I'm mentioning as a worst product of 2023. This is the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Skin Tint. It says tint. I think this is a medium to full coverage foundation. I said what I said. It's also kind of sparkly. It's honestly, it looks a little bit like the Makeup by Mario foundation. It's I can see the shimmer. This doesn't look horrible on the skin, but on me, I have combo oily skin. I live in Austin, Texas, which is a little bit more of a moist. It's a little bit humid over here. This doesn't set down. It just is literally sticky on my face, and it just doesn't hold up, and it feels so heavy and sticky on my face. I even tried using just a little bit of this one and mixing it with a matte foundation to see if I can maybe get that foundation to be a little less matte, and maybe they can have a happy middle. No, you know what happened? It turned that foundation sticky too. Sticky. I really did not like this. I saw people loving this one. Maybe you have a different skin type than me, maybe you live in a different climate than me, but for me, this was an absolute no-go. The next one I want to mention is the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Glow Foundation. This one is more of a preference foundation. This was claimed to be a natural glow foundation, and I could not disagree more. This is a light to medium coverage, super glowy, to the point where it looks like you smeared your face with butter. This is the dewiest, glowiest foundation I've ever seen in my life. I have to powder my entire face heavily for this to not look like a skincare accident on my face. It's so greasy. But if you have maybe dry skin and you want the dewiest of dewiest, sure, maybe this is for you. But honestly, I think this one is just too dewy to look appealing. That's what I think. There is one concealer that I want to mention, and this is the Glow Wish by Huda Beauty concealer. It's called Bright Lights. It's a sheer concealer with illuminating powers in it, and honestly, it is very sheer. It is very, very sheer. I don't know if you can see how sheer it is, but it's very sheer and it is very illuminating. So for me, I feel like this could just be used as the Hollywood Flawless Finish from Charlotte Tilbury. I feel like it could be used like that, as an illuminator to mix in. I don't think that this has any concealing properties whatsoever. It's just a sheer illuminating layer that just illuminates your dark circles. If you need to cover anything in your under eyes, if anything needs any kind of coverage, this will not do that for you. If you need a brightening, sheeny, something which I don't, maybe this is for you, but I just thought that was a too sheeny and too sheer to be anything. And also, it's a little bit hydrating as well, so it needed some powder to set down, which took away the... For me, no. Let's talk about a bronzer, and I almost feel bad mentioning this bronzer again, but we have beef. Me and this bronzer, we have beef. This is the Kosas bronzer. This is the second time I'm buying this bronzer. This is the reformulation of the bronzer. I will say, I do not know why they reformulated the bronzer, but I can tell you that my bronzer, the one that I got the first time, was rancid when I got it. It smelled like French fries, like old frying oil from like a fast food restaurant. It smelled like rancid oils. And then it got mysteriously discontinued. I've heard more people than me had problems with it going bad instantly. Mine was bad when I got it. So I got the reformulated one because I do like how it looks. It's a very sheeny, not glittery or sparkly. Calling it like a satin bronzer doesn't really even cover it. This is a shimmery bronzer, but not necessarily like visible shimmer. So it has a pretty finish. I would find a way to use something like this, but this one gone bad too. This one also smells like old French fries frying oil. And this one is from this year. This is not that old. It's only a couple of months old in my collection. So I'm gonna declutter this one and I give up. Kosas? Preservatives are actually, they're doing something. You should try them. They're kind of the thing. They're kind of the shit. I have quite a few blushes. I have 3 blushes. Oh my. Let's start with this one. This was the Sephora colorful blushes. They came up with this new blushes. This one is in Free Spirit. The packaging, a little flimsy, but I like that it's like thin. It's kind of nice. And the cover is the color of the blush. And this is shimmery cover and it is a shimmery blush. Well, actually it's a sparkly blush. Let me see if I can insert some B-roll of this one because I want you to see the absolute Christmas tinsel bauble madness of the sparkle in this one. It literally leaves like sparkles, like glitters, like visible specks on your cheeks. They're just too coarse. This isn't a very refined product. It's not it. It's just the sparkles are too much. I don't know if the matte ones are better, but the sparkle ones, at least this one in Free Spirit, no. You can get much better shimmery blushes at the drugstore. Pixie has amazing ones. Definitely recommend them. Okay, who remembers this? This is the Tarte blush tape, and this one is in Cherry. I thought I was getting this color, and when they showed some pictures of people using and wearing, and they were showing some swatches, it looked like it was gonna be a shimmery, glowy, wearable, lighter red shade, but it is a dark wine color with no shimmer. There is no shimmer in this formula, and it is this. I even went back and looked at the Tarte site. I actually hope they've changed it since, because after I bought it and after I tried it, I went back to the Tarte website. I'm like, did they not describe this as like glowy or shimmery? And they did. And I actually hope they've changed it by now, because it is not. And it's very pigmented, to the point that even the smallest dot will just look like liquid lipstick on your cheeks. This is probably amazing. If you have a darker skin tone and you're wanting to have a super pigmented red blush, absolutely go for this. But I kind of wish that they would have just made it a somewhat sheerer buildable formula, because and also included the shimmer that it says it's gonna have. For me, this is just a no-go. It also dries down kind of quickly, and it's too pigmented. It's finicky, and just the color is just not it for anyone even remotely close to my skin tone. So I'm saying this with love. If you have a deeper skin tone, you might like this. Not my favorite formula, but this is way more pigmented than what you see in the tube. I also tried the Colourpop Cheek Dews again. So this is the Cheek Dew, and they re-released them in a shimmery formula. And I was like, hey, if they keep releasing these, surely they must have fixed the formula. No, they've not. You remember the Lancome Juicy Tubes? You know, the sparkly lip gloss in a tube? That's this. It behaves exactly like that. It is sticky and goopy and sheer, and it doesn't build up and it doesn't dry down. On my skin, this is a lip gloss from early 2000s nightmare. And one highlighter to mention, and this is just a highlighter that I really don't think is good quality. This is from Lottie London. This is the Cheeky Glow Liquid Highlighter Wands. They were trying to do one of these viral Charlotte Tilbury dupes. The problem is that this is very chunky on the cheeks. I think you can even see it just looks like a kind of a dull metallic eyeshadow. It dries down pretty quickly, and it's not very blendable, and it just looks chunky and heavy and not very sheeny on the cheeks. I think they should have just not. This isn't a good product. If you want to get one from the drugstore, that's one in a poof like this. Get the one from Makeup Revolution. They're honestly really good. Okay, I have one brow product to talk about, and this just did not work out for me. This is from Milk Makeup. This is the Kush Brow Lamination Gel. I actually bought this out of recommendation from my friend Heather Austin, and when I said I did not like this one, I'm actually seeing Heather in a couple of days. We're going to Vegas, and she was like, bring it for me. So I'm actually gonna bring this to her now that I film with it, because she loves it. For me, I don't think that this works as the Patrick Ta Brow Lamination Gel, because that's what I have in my brows today, because that one dries down pretty quickly and keeps my brows up. This on me does not dry down, and it doesn't keep my brow hairs up. So for me, this just turns into somewhat almost of a greasy thing that just makes my brow hairs all droopy and like womp 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 and like sticky. So I don't know what she sees in this. Maybe I got the wrong one, but this is the lamination. It doesn't laminate anything because it just doesn't dry down on me. Am I using this wrong? Am I supposed to set it with something? I don't understand. I didn't like this product at all. If you're looking for a lamination one, I would recommend the Patrick Ta one, because that one I think is easier to work with. This, no. Okay, I have quite a few lip products actually to talk about. Let's talk about two things that I don't necessarily know if I think there's anything wrong with these products, but they were just not what I was looking for. And that is the plumping products that have been quite literally infesting the beauty community these past couple of months. That is the new thing. pH is out and plumping is in. I got this Too Faced Lip Injection Extreme Lip Shaper. I don't know what I thought. I didn't think it was going to be a plumping thing in this. I thought they were just basically saying that they were doing more like neutral lip-like shades to make your lips look overlined naturally, because they were like releasing them in the colors of lips. That's what I thought. No, this actually has plumping abilities to it. So if you want an absolutely horrifyingly burning lip sensation around your lips, this is for you. Very uncomfortable. It's not for me. And that's on me. I don't know what I thought, but I didn't think that, so it's absolutely not for me. I also got the Give Beauty Plumping Lip Balm. This is the Spark the Fire Plumping Lip Balm in LOL. Beautiful color. I really like that it's a balm. I bought this because I love Give Beauty's lip products, and I was kind of hoping that like, oh, maybe this will just be a little plumping, like a tingling sensation like the one from Makeup by Mario. And I was even thinking maybe it's a cooling one like the ones from Lawless. Maybe that's what I'm getting. No, this is the most hurting, burning sensation I've ever had on my lips. This is horrifying. This is medieval torture device. This is not my journey. But if you wanted to try something plumping that's not a gloss or like a liquid, this truly does hurt. If you like torturing yourself, this will be your tool. I tried this one earlier this year, kind of early this year, and I really did not like it. And this is from Revlon, and I've actually had really good luck with Revlon this year. But this is the Colorstay Suede Ink. They released these matte lipsticks. I have mine in 14 Spitfire. This one, it crumbles. Like if you put your lips together or do that, it crumbles. Like it falls off your face. You get flakes all over your face. I've seen some people really liking this. And this one, it's not super comfortable on the lips either. It feels a little bit like a film, which would explain why it's just crumbling off. It doesn't really marry with the lips. If you're looking for a matte lipstick from the drugstore, I would say go with the Juvia's Place ones. Those are very, very comfortable, but still look matte on the lips. This one just feels like a sticky film and then it crumbles off. I didn't think this was a good formula at all, but hey, what do I know? This is the Lock and Shine. Huh? This is the Lock and Shine by Wet n Wild. This is the Mega Last Lip Color and Gloss. It's one of those where you like draw the color on and then you put the lip gloss on. This is so sticky. This is the 1999 revival that absolutely not a single soul was asking for. This is so sticky. I have a video where I'm trying this where my lips are literally glued together and this lip gloss doesn't even help. And this brush, it's like a nail color brush. Like one of those like brushes that you get when you buy a $1 nail color at Claire's. This product is just not, I was gonna say anyone's favorite, but I would dare to say that, like, I'm sticking my neck out and saying that I don't think a lot of people are enjoying this. It's sticky, it's not even opaque, the lip color, it doesn't feel right on the lips, and the gloss doesn't even help with the stickiness. It's just a really bad formulation. And I understand that sometimes drugstore products is like, oh, but it's so cheap. You would have been better off not releasing this. That was just a bad product. Okay, one more lip product. This is the, well, actually two more lip products, but this is the Stila Calligraphy Lip Stain. I have it in Ruth, which is an orange, nobody is surprised. This is a beautiful color. I love the applicator that you can draw lines or you can fill it in. The problem with this one is that it is sold as a lip stain, but it has the lasting power of a coffee break. It's literally left your lips within the hour, which for me, lip stains, they're supposed to stay on for a long time. You're supposed to, like, even have second thoughts before going in with a lip stain to think, do I like this color enough to wear it for 24 hours? And if you are okay with reapplying a lip stain every other hour, sure. But for me, this misses the mark because this doesn't do what I need a lip stain to do, which is to actually stain and stay on. Okay, this is a little bit controversial and don't come for me, but I thought the Rare Beauty lip oils were kind of crap. First of all, these weren't marketed correctly. These were marketed as a lip oil, but they are more like a watery lip stain. They will leave a stain on your lips. They have a watery sensation when it goes on your lips that disappears kind of quickly within 30 minutes and you're left with the stain. They say they're a lip oil, but oil is actually very far down in the ingredient list and there's no oily residue really left on your lips when wearing this. If you try to reapply again to get that like watery sensation back on your lips, you're getting even more color on your lips with the stain, of course. So your lips start getting darker and darker, but also patchier and patchier. And there's something about this formulation that actually dries out my lips. So the more I apply it, the drier my lips become, the patchier they become, and I end up having to go in with an actual lip oil. For me, this is a miss. I know a lot of people love these, but for me, someone who actually really loves a traditional lip oil, these are an absolute no-go. I thought this was not only labeled and marketed incorrectly, I don't think it is a good stain either. Okay, eyeshadows. Eyeshadows, I have 3 different things to mention to you. 3 things that I actually don't think are good quality, where you can find something better in a similar price range. The first one is the LA Girl Foreplay. I don't necessarily dislike the mattes in this one. I think the mattes are pretty decent, but the shimmers are very... When you pick them up like this with your fingers, you're like, ooh, that looks really good. But as soon as you try to get them on your eyes, they turn out to be, like, especially this one, a little sheer, and the sparkle is a little coarse. It just doesn't look amazing. And when I tried to use this on my eyes, I didn't like it at all, and I just don't think that these are especially spectacular. And you can get way better than this at the drugstore. There are so many brands, especially at the drugstore section over at Ulta. There are so many things, even if you don't have an Ulta available. I'm trying to think what brands are available at the drugstore whose eyeshadows I like. I feel like eyeshadow is the tricky part though. It's really hard to find something good. Let me ponder on that a bit, but even Target right now has ColourPop. So yeah, there are so many different places where you can get better eyeshadows. I think that NYX has way better eyeshadows than this if you're gonna get an eyeshadow from the drugstore. I just didn't think that this was especially amazing. You didn't think we were gonna get through this video without mentioning the Single Shadows by Merit, did you? These were sent to me as PR. Let me think if any of the other things were sent to me as PR. But these were sent to me as PR. The Lottie London was sent to me as PR as well. I think I bought all the other things. No, not the ColourPop one. That one's sent to as PR as well. But the other things I think I bought myself. But Merit did send me these eyeshadows, and I'm sure they thought that everyone was gonna love them. But I honestly think that these are really bad. And I keep being surprised when I see people really loving these, because I thought, and I will say, with that being said, I've only worn these a handful of times because I really hated how they looked on my eyes. I have the Viper and the Brun. Well, Brun is brown in Swedish, so that's why I pronounce it like that, but I guess it's like Brun. I have no idea. These are dry and hard to work with, especially if you have a I want to say an aging eyelid, but like an eyelid that's not super firm. So for me, I have to like really work with these to get them to somewhat blend, and they're still kind of patchy, and they do not present themselves with any kind of a nice smooth like line. They're also sheer, and for me they crease within like the hour, 2 hours. So it's matte, it's sheer, it's creasy, it's patchy, it's I don't get it. I don't get it. Why would I want a patchy, sheer, matte eyeshadow that's hard to work with that creases? I don't get it. And so many people are loving these and saying they're so effortless. And I honestly, and I say this with love, just use your bronzer. These are expensive and they're not very good. I don't get it. If you want to get an easy out the door eyeshadow, get the new reformulated shadow sticks by Colourpop. Those are affordable. They come in matte shades. They're very easy to blend. They will give you that effortless result without the creasing, without the tugging, and without the patchiness. I said what I said. Okay, last thing we need to talk about is the Tarte. It's called like the Big Ego To Go. I loved one of the Tarte palettes that I bought last year so much that I've been trying to like re-experience my hype for that palette with other palettes with Tarte, and I really thought that I was gonna love this one. I don't. This is one of the hardest eyeshadows I've ever had to work with. This shadow here, it is a black with a lot of purple shimmers in it. It is so dry and hard to pick up that it literally feels like plastic. I don't know. It's so coarse, and when you use it, you do not get any of this purple shimmer. You don't get any of this purple shimmer. I don't know if you can see, I don't know if it shows like how dry and crusty it is, but this one, the one that is like a pink, really hard to work with. I had such problems to get this to work. I think you can see here. It's so sheer. It's so sheer and it didn't blend. And honestly, the shimmers are fine, but these two shades are some of the worst matte eyeshadows I've worked with in my life. And I am so surprised that a brand like Tarte was like, yeah, let's release this. I think this is horrible. I think this quality is awful. I didn't even finish my look. I didn't even put lashes on because in the video I was like, there's no way. There is no way that I am keeping this makeup on and going out in it. And I am not a pro. I am not an expert, but I'm also fairly okay with eyeshadow. And I can even make bad eyeshadow work for me to the point where I'm happy with the look and I'll wear it throughout the day, but I immediately wash this off after doing something with this palette. Absolutely despised it. It took me forever to film the video because I was trying so hard to make this work. I don't know when my eye makeup looked this bad last. Like, it is so choppy here, and this, I think this palette is one of the worst products I've ever tried on my channel. Absolutely despise it. If somebody else loves it, that's perfectly fine. I'm so happy you bought something that you love. This bitch did not. And that was everything for this video. I need to go and wash my hands. I was gonna say, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you did. A little sassiness is good. And here's the thing. You cannot love everything that's being released. I try so many products each year. It's only fair that a bunch of them are gonna be products where I'm like, this literally is not it. I do not like these at all and cannot wait to get rid of them. With that being said, I usually have a Christmas tradition where around Christmas I put up a video where I do a full face of the worst products of the year, and I pretty much do have a full face here. I'm gonna save these products and I'm gonna use them again for that video, just for fun, just for kicks, just for poking fun at myself and trying to create something with some of the worst products of this year. Let me know if you've tried any products that you really hated this year. Let me know if you agree or disagree with any of these products. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you again tomorrow for a new video. Bye!